Hi, you guys, and welcome to class number 6. We are learning all about mood and emotional well-being tonight. I absolutely love teaching this class, and I'm super thrilled that you guys are here with us tonight. If you wouldn't mind, go ahead in the chat and tell us where you're joining from and who invited you. It's always so much fun to see people from across the United States. People are all over the place joining us in different time zones, and so that way we know that we are no, not alone at this classroom. So tonight, you guys, as you can see on the screen, as we are getting ready for class to start, I would love for you to put what you are feeling. Like look at the picture on the right-hand side and just if there's a picture that describes how you feel right now, or maybe you felt this way this week or today, just today, go ahead and put that in the chat for us. So a couple of things that we want to go over is this class is being recorded. You will be able to have access to the link to listen to the replay. All you need to do is reach out to the person who invited you to this call, and you'll be able to get that. You can also find us on YouTube and in our VIP Essential Oil Education Group, Good Vibes. Now, this is something that we would ask you guys to be muted during the class so that we can keep a nice clean recording. And then we'll also be watching the chat. So if we're talking about something or if we're asking a question, please be active. Let us know that you are paying attention. And if you have any questions, put it in the chat because at the end of class tonight, we are going to have a time when we're going to open up for testimonials. So at this time, you guys, I really want you guys to think about some of the oils and some of the things that you guys have experienced, whether it's your family, maybe you've had a cousin or a neighbor or somebody you work with experience something really awesome, especially when it comes to their mood and emotional well-being. And this is when we want you guys to share those things because that's really how we learn. We're also going to be giving away a couple of prizes at the end of class today, so make sure you stay on until the very end. We have classes every Monday and Tuesday. They are live Zoom. If you can catch it live, that's always what I recommend. Otherwise, we do have recordings of them. And we actually have something really cool that we offer a free gift to everybody who joins us at least 8 times for our continuing education. You guys, we have 3 people who have just earned their free recipe book. Now, this recipe book has nearly 300 recipes of the tried and true recipes that you're not going to find anywhere else. We're actually in the process right now of creating a volume 2, which we're so excited about because we know that it's nice to have all of the recipes that are firsthand reaches in one place. So I would love to say congratulations to Carrie Duncan, congratulations. Laura Miller. And then we also have one phone number. It's got a 307 area code, and we have no idea who that belongs to. So if you have attended 8 of our classes, you're watching this with us live tonight, or maybe you've watching the replay on this, please let us know. When we ask for information at the very end, I'll go through it a little bit more. But the reason we do that is because we have no other way to get a hold of you to let you know that you've won or what's going on. So congratulations, like I said, to Laura Miller, Carrie Duncan, and our 307 number for earning the recipe book. We have quite a few people, you guys, that are just 1 or 2 classes away from earning it also. So make sure you stay in the game. And if you have questions about that, make sure you reach out to the person who invited you here tonight. Okay, so just to kind of briefly go over, this is a list of our 8 different classes that we teach. These classes repeat over and over. Although if you've watched one, don't think that you are done because every time we teach one of these topics, we have different things that we teach about. We have different testimonials, different questions, and each class is amazing. And so we're super grateful that you guys are making the time to empower yourselves to know what to do with the oils that you have to get the very best results. Now, tonight is mood and emotional well-being. Next week will be class number 7. It's a really great one. It's create your own spa. Also, we're going to dig into aroma touch and symphony of the cells and their benefits. Okay, so at the very beginning, I asked you to pick what it was that you looked an emoji that says, "This is me right now." But why does it matter? So if you know somebody who, maybe they just are constantly happy, that's really a good thing. But there's also the flip side of that where you have people who might worry a lot, might feel frustrated. Maybe somebody's just sad or scared or always mad at people, It's like I know a couple of people who just always seem to have a chip on their shoulder. And so tonight we're going to kind of dig deep into why does that even matter? Like, what does it matter if, and what role do our emotions play in our everyday health and how we feel? So in the middle, it talks about how stress can show up in our bodies. So how many of you guys have ever felt sore neck or soreness in your shoulders? There's times when I know that I'm just, my shoulders are getting closer and closer up to my ears because I carry all that stress and that tension there. And usually it's when I'm working on a big project or have a lot of stuff going on. Now, sometimes because our emotions will get in the way and maybe somebody's got us really upset for a reason, well, maybe that's a time when we have rapid breathing, or maybe we can't have a clear thought because we've got too many things racing around in our head. So the picture on the right-hand side shows a great example of how and where different emotions show up in your body. How many of you knew that by worrying that it weakens your stomach? Now, some of you guys are probably going, oh, yeah, that makes sense because when I worry, I have a stomach ache. Or maybe you've got a child who just worries and worries or, is afraid or scared. And those are some of the effects that has to do with your stomach. It can create, stomach ulcers. It can cause stomach, all kinds of different things that are causing our bodies to not show up the best way possible. Anger weakens your liver. Fear weakens your kidneys. And you guys, as we learn more and more about these emotions, tonight we're going to give you some solutions on what you can do. Now, I love this slide because how many of you guys have ever heard of David R. Hawkins? He has created a really great map of consciousness, which shows where most people are. So it has the highest level of enlightenment, which is when you are just extremely happy and everything is as good as it can get. And then on that same chart, it goes all the way down to the lowest vibration and the very saddest, or the lowest on the chart is shame. And if you've ever experienced shame, or if you know somebody who deals with shame, then our goal here tonight is, what if we can raise it just one level to the next level? We cannot expect somebody to come into, especially when a lot of life has happened to them, or maybe they've, just dealt with so many different things that we can't have them go from being, experiencing grief at a really big level to go straight up to peace and joy and love. Like, that's just not possible. But what we can do is we can work on different things in different ways that we can change that frequency into a higher vibration. I bet all of you guys have been around somebody who's just, you walk into a room and you can feel their energy is just like really low. And then you also, this opposite of that is you walk in and no matter when you see this person, they're always happy and joyful. So I'm going to just read a couple of the statistics that are on the right or the left-hand side of the page. Did you know that globally, suicide is the fourth leading cause of death among ages 15 to 29? Now, when I heard that, I was like kind of blown away because that should be the most vitality and most fun and free living and all of the really good things that are happening and exploring life. And yet it's obviously a time and an age when it's really affecting our youth. Now, 284 million people suffer from an anxiety disorder worldwide. Now, I want you guys to also think about how many people are dealing with something where they're really down or they're just trying to make the best of everything, but yet they've never reported having anxiety or being really depressed or upset or sad. So I bet this number of 284 million people is actually a lot higher than it is, and especially over the past couple of years. Now, substance use is responsible for over 11 million deaths annually. You guys, that is one in every five deaths globally. Now, one of the reasons that I am so passionate about essential oils, especially doTERRA, is because of substance use. I have a son who has been an addict ever since he went in for a root canal at about age 22 or 23. They put him on a over-the-counter prescription, and which led to a highly addictive substance use for the last, I'm going to say like 20 years at this point. Now he's had ups and downs and goods and bads and everything, but the thing is that, you know, most people, if you are around addiction, you know that it just takes one time and they can never put it down. And it's just something that's constantly there. So the struggle is real. So if we could take some of the things that we do, some of the medications and things that we use, and replace them with things that are natural, that have no side effect, but only side benefits, wouldn't that be great? Okay, one drop of our essential oil can impact 40 million trillion molecules and chemical compounds, and it's super fast. So within seconds of putting an essential oil on the bottoms of your feet, which is the largest pores in your body, it can travel through your entire body and get to where it needs to go. I think that this is absolutely key and super exciting because they can go into different places where your body's actually sending out these little stress signals, and it can go directly to it. Where again, if we are using an over-the-counter of any kind, history has shown, and it's just proven that you take a pill for something and it could take 20 or 30 minutes before it gets into your body or into your system. And then most likely it doesn't know where to go or how to get there, because there might be other warning signs or other stressors that are saying, hey, stop here, stop here. Now, and we do have a class that talks about the difference and the benefit of internal aromatic and topical absorption and why we use them. Okay, essential oils act as little messengers that disrupt old emotional patterns that we have established over years, life. You know, some of the stuff is generational, so it's handed down to us. But by reprogramming and sending a new message when we smell something, and we're going to get into this a lot deeper, it rapidly will change that pattern, and we can actually have a different result just by smelling an essential oil. Now, one of the greatest weapons against stress is our ability to choose one thought over another. So many times, you guys, I think as a child, I was never really taught, hey, how else could we look at this? Or maybe this isn't happening to you, maybe it's happening for you. And, you know, is this the worst case scenario, or what's the best case scenario? Or you know, what did we learn from these? And so these different thoughts that we come up with really do set a pattern in a mindset of how we start thinking. And when we can shift that just a little bit, we can get a completely different result. Now I'm going to dive into the science just a little bit. For any of you guys who are really into science, this is just going to be the tip of the iceberg and very basic information so that people can follow along. So when we smell an essential oil through our nose, it enables the brain's olfactory center, and it detects what's going on. And then it tells the amygdala, which is a key brain area for our memories, our emotions, unlike when we write things down. So the reason that essential oils are so effective with the olfactory system is because our sense of smell is 10,000 times stronger than any of our other senses. And there's certain things you can write, and you're going to be able to trigger that memory, or you're going to be able to reread it or think about it or visualize it. But there are certain things that can only be engaged when you have the amygdala it being activated, and that is through sense of smell. Now, if we go into the limbic system, this is where our emotions, our memories, our hormones, our autonomic influences are. So our body functions automatically. Like, we don't have to tell our body to start breathing or for our heart to start pounding. But what also happens is it can trigger that fight or flight. It can also say, okay, it's okay, you can be calm. And that's one of the things that I love about the essential oils, is because even as a small child, I can smell something now and it's like it instantly takes me back to a situation. So for instance, when I was a little girl, I rode horses all the time, and we would, just spend so much time outdoors. And my friend's family had a ranch, and so there was hay and they were cutting it all the time. Anyway, long story short, the first time that I smelled helichrysum, I smelled it, and it's like this fast forward through these movie clips or something, and it took me directly to when I was a little girl riding my horse in the field. And I just love that sense of smell can do that quickly. So another, just for instance, is when we have music, it kind of works the same way. Have you guys ever been listening to a song on the radio that can just make you really sad, or it takes you to a time when maybe something was, you were experiencing something difficult, or maybe there was a movie that you watched and it made you cry, and then you hear that song and it takes you to that emotion. Or the same opposite is that when you're listening to certain song, it's like, oh gosh, I feel like I just need to get up and start singing and dancing with it. And it doesn't matter what kind of mood I was in to begin with. So when we have our sense of smell and our essential oils, that's how quickly it changes the vibration, it changes the message, it changes the frequency. Now, here's just a quick little clip of, the constants and the different things that can vary. We can smell something and it can change something. We can experience some, pain, and it changes the response that we have. But when we have that sense of smell, it goes into the brain. It gives us a chemical response and an emotional response, which then leads us back to a physical response and how we are going to respond to it. Now, the power of aroma is intense. As we've been talking, I'm sure each of you guys have thought of a time or a place when you're going, yeah, that you're right, that smell. If you smell something burning, it's like your brain goes, hey, fight or flight, something's wrong. So the same as if you think about, and I want you guys to just take a second and think about picking up a lemon and holding it in your hand, and then tell me what happens as soon as you like peel back that rind. And so our memory has already knows what lemon is. My mouth is sitting here kind of, puckered up a little bit because my mouth starts to salivate just thinking about it. And so that is a trigger from our brain. Now, some people will ask a lot. It's like, well, I have a friend who can't smell, or I don't like the smell of this. Is my body still going to respond? So anosmia is when people have no sense of smell. And I know that over the past few years, there's been some people who have literally lost their sense of smell. And that doesn't mean that they aren't able to still have the benefits of being able to smell that aroma. And so the aroma can change our mood. It can bring back memories. It can make us happy. It can bring us calm. And so how are the different ways that we can use it to get the benefit? So I've got a diffuser on here. So aromatic is the fastest way. One of the things that I love to teach people is, especially if you've got, an emotion that you're experiencing, is to put the drop of oil, like open up the bottle. You can smell it right from the bottle itself. You can drop a couple of drops in the palm of your hand, rub your hands together, and then just cup it over your nose and just take a few really deep breaths, because that is one of the fastest ways. Like I said, is 10,000 times more sensitive than our other senses. So it's going to quickly go into the nose, tell the brain what to do, and then tell our body how to react. You can diffuse in a room. So what I love about diffusing, you guys, is not only am I getting the benefit, but everybody in the area is getting the benefit also. So I think of like daycares, especially if you're trying to calm a classroom down, or a bunch of little kids, or maybe you've got somebody who's got a cough. And so depending on the essential oil that you're diffusing is going to be the result of what you get. I love diffusing. I diffuse certain oils at night, and then when I get up first thing in the morning, I load different diffusers or different oils in my diffuser so that I can really benefit. Now, another time that I use a diffuser is when I am journaling, or if I want to tame my thoughts down. Sometimes I've got so much on my mind, it's like, okay, wait, I got to like settle down and focus. When I'm planning my weekly calendar, I diffuse certain things for concentration. And so you guys, diffusing is one of my favorite ways to use essential oils. Now we're going to jump into some of the products and why and which ones, when, and why. So we have some great systems. I love that doTERRA has not only provided one product, but they've got 3 different ones for being able to adapt or be able to be calm in situations that might be a little bit more stressful. So there's 3 different parts. You'll see on the left-hand side of the adaptive system, there's a roller bottle and there's a 15 ml bottle. The roller is slightly diluted so that it's perfect for everybody and anybody in your household. So if you've got little kids or you've got a baby or you've got a pet or something that you need to get the oils on, you can always use the doTERRA Touch oils and know that they're safe for anyone. And then the pure essential oil, which is in the bottle in the middle, there's 250 drops in here. And you'll see that some of the oils that are in there are lavender, neroli, magnolia, sweet gum. Now, those are all oils that target stress or feeling anxious. And so how many of you guys feel that way ever? Like, have you felt that way this week? Have you felt that way this month? Have you felt this way this year? So those are targeted to help to support us. Then also in that blend, they've added wild orange and spearmint. Both of these, anytime you have a citrus or a mint, it's invigorating and it's uplifting. And so then we have soothing and calming essential oils also, which are copaiba and rosemary. The 2 that are on the left are meant to use topical or aromatic. And the one on the right, which is a capsule. So we're addressing the limbic system on our thought and our emotions with the 2 essential oils, and then systemic and neurological and biochemical with the adaptive capsule. They are completely different blends, and the oil and the touch are not meant to take internally, but we've got an amazing gel cap that has GABA, selenium, ahi flower, and you'll see the essential oils that are in there are, again, we've got lavender, wild orange, coriander, and fennel. You guys, these products are absolutely amazing. And anytime you see a system and you can purchase a set, you're going to save additionally off of the wholesale pricing at a deeper discount. Okay, so now going into the 15 ml and the 10 ml essential oils, these are great for, if you are going to a really hectic situation. So maybe you're doing some testing, maybe you're creating a test for people, maybe you're in a planning meeting at work. These are going to be things that are going to be able to calm you down and get rid of that anxious and that, tension and things. I love putting this in my bath water. Like I'll take a scoop of Epsom salt or sea salt, and I'll add just a few drops of the adaptive in there, and then I pour it in the running bath water. And I just love the way that it just gives me super calm, tranquil feelings. I love being able to do that. Another thing you can do is you can wear this as like a perfume or a perfume by just putting it behind your ears, the back of your neck, on your wrists, rub your hands, take a couple of deep breaths. Adaptive, anytime you're going into a situation that is a little bit intense, this is when I would go to these. And again, if you're going to, it's the end of school, right? I don't know when you're going to be watching live or watching the replay here, but there's different times of the year that have, more stress and different situations. So think of these 2 for that. Now the capsules, we have 3 different capsules that are really great for stress management or relaxation, being able to calm. We have Serenity, which you guys, I don't go a day without Serenity. I use the capsules, especially if I've got a lot on my mind, to keep my heart rate down. And then again, I'll take it before I go to bed at night, and it helps me to be able to calm my mind. Copaiba gel caps, and then we also have the adaptive ones. The adaptive is amazing. I'll take one with the Serenity. I actually most days I'll take one of each of these if I am facing a hectic day. Some people will just take one of them, or they do different combinations of them. It's not just for sleep, it's just for calming your body down. Okay, so now we're going to move on to another absolutely incredible blend that doTERRA launched in 2023. This one is called Shinrin Yoku. It's also referred to as forest bathing. This is something that people have been practicing for quite some time. As the world gets more and more electronic, we are not getting out into nature. We're not putting our feet onto the ground. We're spending our time, with a tablet or on a phone or and at work. And so they actually have found that when you get out in nature, you have a great opportunity to get grounded into the earth, to get back in calm and peaceful. One of my favorite things to do with this is we live about 20 minutes from an amazing canyon. So I'll take this blend up with me, especially when I first got it. I drove up to the canyon. I got the roller out and I rolled it all over me. And then as I hiked up through the mountain a little bit, and I found a place to kind of sit down by the stream, and I was on a rock, and I got the oil out again, and I just sat there and I just smelled it and inhaled it. And then I just really anchored into no sounds except for, birds and leaves falling. And it just was so peaceful to me. So I also took a short video of the river and just part of sitting up there. So now when I come back into work and I'm having a hectic day, or I've got way more on my plate that I think I can handle, I'll take these little timeouts where I'll, just go find a nice quiet place outside. I'll sit on the ground, I'll take my shoes off, and then I'll smell this essential oil. And just like I was talking earlier, how that amygdala starts working and you smell it, and it takes me directly back to that place. And I can take in less than 5 or 10 minutes, and I can completely reset my day, my focus, my emotions, and just being able to, handle everyday things that are happening. As we're going through this, you guys, if there is a slide that you like, or you're wanting to save that information, feel free to take screenshots. It has the list of essential oils that's on the left-hand side. And again, we've got a pure essential oil, 250 drops in the 15 ml. And then we have a roller bottle, which is perfectly diluted for everyone in our house to be able to wear. I also, really quick, I'm just going to tell you, not only do I love taking them as if I'm having that hectic day and I want to get grounded, but if I feel like I need to get away and escape, that's again a time when I'll get these oils out, put them on, and I'll, just close my eyes, and it's amazing how quickly I can see that perfect spot. Okay, doTERRA about 4 or 5 years ago came out with their emotional aromatherapy. You guys, this is by far one of my favorite full collections, because without even having any education on essential oils, you can read the label and you can say, what do I want to feel more of? Or what do I want to feel less of? And I love that each bottle's title will tell you, gosh, I feel like I want to be more, I need some motivation. Like I just need to say, get up and some go, or I've lost passion for work, or maybe I feel like, I just need a big fat hug. So each one of these oils has been scientifically and specially formulated for their benefits to be able to offer us the support that we need. They're also, so these are 5 ml bottles. So each one of them has 85 drops, and each one also has a matching roller bottle touch that is also perfect to wear, right out of the bottle. Okay, so we're going to go into this a little bit more. So as you're looking at these descriptions, I want you to notice that anytime you have a citrus oil, it's going to address when you're feeling down or sad, or this, it says discouraged or gloomy. If you look at the tree oils, they offer a natural benefit for when you feel like you're sad, or you need that extra support and just feeling held. Or I love trees because trees in nature. So every single essential oil naturally has a purpose. And chemically, they grow to offer us support and supporting themselves. So for instance, when you take a tree, you think of how tall they grow and how deeply rooted they are in the ground, that no matter what the storm is that comes at them, right? The wind, the snow, the hail, the rain, all the things come at it and it still stays firmly supported and grounded. So that is what it would offer to you. When you take citrus, I mean, if you take and you look at this orange and it's cut in half and you see the center, if you say, what does that really remind you of? Well, it looks like sun to me. And so every citrus oil, when I go out into the sun or when I'm feeling a little down and I just let that sun, beat on me just for a few minutes and just it wakens up my soul and it just brings so much joy and happiness. It's like it pours energy into me. And so that is what citrus oil gives to you. We're going to dig a little bit deeper into forgive. So when doTERRA first launched these essential oils, they'd been doing some work with an oncology hospital, and they had all of them out for people to come in and try and use whatever they wanted, as much as they wanted. And the one that was most used by a landslide was forgive. Now, you guys, Forgive is an amazing essential oil blend. It not only has tree oils in it, but it also has herb oils. Juniper berry is got so many great benefits, especially like it's the oil of the night. So as you learn more with the essential oils, you'll know that each one has a physical benefit as well as an emotional benefit. Bergamot, and we'll go into bergamot soon, but I love this essential oil blend when anybody has respiratory issues of any kind. It's got great oils. You would just put them right over your chest, which is also where your heart resides. Well, where do we hold emotions, especially of, anger or sadness? So forgive is something that we get to practice letting go and releasing. Maybe life has been pretty difficult. Maybe somebody's been mean to you. Maybe you've been mean to someone else. So whether it's to be forgiven, to ask for forgiveness, or this is great. And as you learn about each of the oils, you'll discover how beneficial. Now, Console, it is a comforting blend. This one, you guys, I love being able to apply it. Gosh, when do you need consoled? Like, had a bad day, lost a pet, somebody was mean to you. Sometimes we just need that great big hug. This one is a powerful essential oil with frankincense, patchouli, ylang ylang, sandalwood, and rose. So this one helps with feelings that when you just feel sad or disappointed or you're going through some grief. So great places to put it would be across the heart. I always recommend in the hand, smell it, apply it where you need it. Sometimes it's just like put it in your hand and wrap your arms around yourself and give yourself a big, huge hug. Okay, now we also have mood oils. So the emotion ones, and then we're moving into mood. So this was pretty much the oils that I cut my teeth on when I first joined doTERRA. I have such a attachment to Serenity and Balance both. Balance was the gateway oil for me. I described myself before oils as a bucket full of mess. I was always on edge. I cried at the snap of a finger. Somebody could look at me wrong and I would feel like I was being attacked. And it's just weird how life can just start adding all those things up until we learn how to release the stuff and look at things differently. So this one is the grounding oil. And you guys, I'll never forget the first time I cracked open the bottle and I took a smell of it. It's just like this just relaxation, and this just whole thing happened, and I just felt my whole body go, oh. So it got to the point, you guys, where I was so broken that I would carry this in my pocket for at least the first year. And every time a situation would happen, I instinctively knew, because nobody was teaching me, I would open it up, I would smell it, I would put it in my hands, I would rub it on my chest, and within seconds, I would just feel completely different. And so this is a great essential oil. Another one is Serenity. And Serenity is one that I use still to this day, every single day. These two essential oils are on me and around me because of the way that it supports me. Okay, so we have some really great tools. Sometimes it's like, okay, I'm new here. What do I do? How do I do it? Like, how do I use them? How do I learn? So we have an emotion and essential oils book, which is absolutely amazing. It is one of my favorite books, but I'm not going to lie. The first time somebody talked to me about emotional oils and the benefits, I was like, nah, nope, nope. I was raised taking herbs, and I get that when you use onion and you boil them and all the different things, I get all of that. But what is it about, how can they really support us emotionally? And you guys, the longer that I studied and the more I learned, I invested in something called a Zytoscan. Some of the people here, or some of the people you're working with, will probably have either an Itoviscan, which is a handheld pocket device, or I have a Zytoscan, which is a little bit bigger. And I got this scan, and when people would come in and scan, because I didn't know what to tell them, like I'm not a doctor, I didn't know anything about essential oils. So they would come in and scan, and it reads your biomarkers and does an assessment of what your body needs to put it into homeostasis or into balance. So when they would do these scans over time, what was happening is they would then read the emotional book and they go, oh my gosh, how did it know? Like, how did it know exactly what it was that I needed? And yet, when we ask somebody, like if I were to, unmute everybody right now and say, okay, tell me what it is that you need, or how are you feeling today? You're going to probably say, oh, I'm fine. And I'm going to go, no, really, tell me, like, what's going on? And is there anything that I can support you with? No, I'm fine. It's like, okay, just tell me just one thing that if you could feel more of or feel less of. And then we all of a sudden we start this conversation. Well, the cool thing is about this book is it has an entire guide. It goes each essential oil. It breaks down, what the benefits are, how it helps you, the negative, the positive emotions that it addresses. And there's a little wheel like it's showing right here. So there's negative emotions on one side and positive emotions on the other. So if you said, gosh, I just want to feel more joy. So you could go into this, you could look up joy, and it's going to give you all the different things that come along with it. Each section has, so for instance, this one is the metabolic blend, Meta Power, and it goes all through, all the different things. But then it'll say what to do with it. It'll say apply topically anywhere the body needs extra love and support. And the little arrow down will say, what do I need to look deeper? Like, what else do I need to know about this? And then it gives you a positive affirmation on how to then affirm that you're going to get change. So here's a little slide with just this with Serenity to give you kind of an idea a little bit deeper. So what emotion? Well, we have stress. So what are we supposed to do with that? Well, you would take Serenity. Serenity helps to bring tranquility and a space for reflection, peace, healing. It helps to help our mind and our heart to be calm, and invites individuals to relinquish the feelings of stress. So this is just a snapshot of what's inside the book. And then it'll say, okay, so now where do we apply it? Well, anywhere your body's feeling stressed. So if you're feeling stressed, like my shoulder feels really stressed out, is tight. Well, I might put the Serenity there. I might also put it across my chest if my chest is feeling tight and heavy or like weighed down. And then it'll have you affirm that you trust all things that work together for my good. And then how do we act? Well, then we're going to reconnect with and discover peace that is inside of me. So you guys, this is just, like I said, a quick little snapshot of how that book works. Now, these are three of the essential oils that I absolutely love. Well, I love them all, but I have different ones that I love for different things. Melissa, how many of you guys did the Melissa challenge and the Blue Tansy challenge with us? You guys, it's amazing how we, I think, are so good at everything is okay that when somebody says, how are you feeling? It's like, oh, I'm fine. But really, in reality, we might have some stuff going on that we're not even addressed because we're so busy being busy and being, taking care of things. And so Melissa's Oil of Light, this essential oil is one that I pull out anytime somebody feels like, when we talked at the very beginning of this class, that low vibration of shame or grief or, sadness that you just can't get out of. Melissa is that. And I love that it gives us that light, that beam of hope, almost like, that light shining in on top of us. A great place to put it is on your thumb and in the roof of your mouth is where I use it most often. But you could put it on directly on the top of your head. Also on your solar plexus if you guys are doing chakra type work, because that is where our soul sits. Peppermint is the oil of buoyant heart. So I remember that my son I was telling you guys about, when he first got introduced to doTERRA, peppermint beadlets. It's like he was going through peppermint beadlets like crazy, like 3 or 4 bottles of them a month. And I'm like, what are you doing with them? Well, it helps to that buoyance and the heart and the soul, and it invites the mind and the body and the soul that we can be happy and that we don't have to have fear control us. And it's really interesting the way that he found like that breath of fresh air or that breath of hope that life can be good. Bergamot, you guys, is the oil of self-acceptance. Any of you guys who have been around here for very long have heard of Dr. Danielle Daniels, and she actually did some great research and studies on bergamot and the way that it helps to support people who have been through trauma, people who deal with trauma on a regular basis. So we're talking, fire departments, police officers, vets, all of the things, and how one part of the study that she did was by diffusing that aromatic response again, is by diffusing bergamot for at least 3 hours a day was able to help people. It didn't take away the trauma and the things, but it helped them feel confident that they would be able to go through it and be able to have a good life and be lovable and have that happiness again. You guys, in order to change, you must first change your routine and change your thoughts. If you keep doing the things that you've been doing and you're just getting the same results over and over and over, and emotions, especially the ones that we might have shoved down somewhere, eventually they're going to come up. And at the very, very first of this class, it's like, okay, what is the effect of our emotions on our body? So when people have something that is reoccurring, or I love digging in deep with people's emotions, because just this week a gal came in and she's like, gosh, what do you have for shoulder pain? I'm getting ready to go out of town, and I've looked everything up in the Modern Essentials book, and they've referenced all these different pain oils, but nothing is working. And so we dug a little deeper. We got the emotions book out. We looked up the word shoulder. It gave us a couple of statements. And then from there, we went back into what is the feeling that she's experiencing. Like when you are going under stress, you guys, pay attention to where it shows up in your body first. And chances are, if you dig into that part of your body in this emotions book, you will get a solution very quickly. Remember that you get to pick the oils that speak to you. So if I recommended an oil to somebody and they're like, and they read the emotional benefit or they were looking at it and they're like, no, that doesn't really, no, that's that, then keep looking and get curious on which one of these oils best represents how I want to feel, either what I want to feel more of, or I'm sick and tired of feeling, cranky. So then we can look up some of those things and start using them. In order to get the results, you guys, you must be consistent. You can't open up an essential oil bottle one time and get the result and then think that forever you're fixed. It's and sometimes emotion and mood work, you guys, is like peeling back an onion. I've been in this game now for about, well, over 10 years. And I remember getting to a certain point when I'm like, gosh, I should be getting better. I should be feeling better. And what was happening is the more work that I've done, the deeper I get, the more work that I get to do. And now the best part about learning this type of stuff is I bounce back way quicker. Like when I go through something, it used to take, like I would be mad at somebody and I wouldn't talk to them for like 2 or 3 weeks or a year or something. And now it's like, no, we're going to fix this and we're going to do our best. So remember, you guys, that you can use your essential oils every second, like, or every minute. Like take a deep breath, smell it, inhale it. And if it gets you through to the next hour or 15 minutes or a day, great. But it's just like taking a shower. We need to continue to use it. And sometimes in the beginning, or if you're going through something currently, you're more often, right? Less essential oil more often. Make sure that you learn to write your words, express yourself, whether you need to put it on a piece of paper that you can, jumble up and throw away and stomp on, or rip it up or burn it, whatever you need to do. Or you can also journal, what you want to experience more of. Get outside, you guys. That Shinrin Yoku, not all of us have a beautiful forest that we can escape to, but with visualization, with music, or just total quiet and silence, getting out, sitting on some grass, taking your shoes off, getting your feet in on the dirt is going to give you that feeling of peace. Then remember just to take a pause, take a deep breath, and reflect. You guys, it can be as simple as like 10 or 15 minutes. And if you get into a morning routine, the way you start your day is the way your day is going to play out. So if you start running and hitting the pavement and everything is, furious and frantic, that's how, I promise, how your whole day is going to go. Now, there's days when I start my day perfectly perfect, the way I like it. And then something disrupts it during the middle of the day, but I have the tools to reset. I get my essential oils, I'll stop, I'll put them on, I'll take a deep breath, I'll, do some of the things, and then I can reset at any minute. And then the best part about it is that it's not that I don't have things still come up, because we all do. Life is going to happen, but we get to handle it different. Drinking a lot of water, getting hydrated. You guys, there is so much benefits to getting hydrated and being able to flush out all of those toxins. So your emotions store in your cells, stores in the fat, stores all over the place. So as you're detoxing and cleansing and getting that, you got to wash it out and get rid of it. Read things, journal. The more you are the sum of the people you hang out with. So if you're hanging out with people who ain't it awful, well, guess what? Pretty soon you're going to have those thoughts and you're going to start being, oh, gosh, you're right, it is. But if you're reading things that are inspiring, if you're hanging out with people who see the bright side or always, look at the positive side, pretty soon you're going to start doing that. When you also are getting some sunshine and taking time to meditate, listen to podcasts, it's like getting some exercise, getting the fresh air, so many really great things. So we get to decide. It's a great day to have a great day on purpose. This is Jewel Tipton. She has been making a point of spreading that message to everybody every day, all day long, everywhere she goes. So mindset is so important. We also have other things that can help us support our bodies. So great supplements. What we eat is what we become, and it's a full picture for us, you guys. All right, I can't stop this class without going in and telling you my favorite way to purchase essential oils. Hopefully, if you guys are long timers here or been here more than a hot second, you are using loyalty rewards. A lot of times, you guys, I was one of those people who said, I don't want to get stuck on something that's coming every month and all the troubles and all the hassle and all the things. You guys, shame on me, because it was about 6 months before I got on loyalty rewards, and I did not understand how easy it was to just call and cancel. But the better part was I was missing out on free products, free shipping, free points, all the benefits, the free product of the month. And I will never stop using loyalty rewards. I've not missed a month in at least 14 years. And so for the first 3 months, you earn 10% back in points, all the way up to at 13 months, you're earning 30% back in points for your purchases. I don't know another loyalty program out there, gas station, grocery store, airline, you know, gym, they don't give you this type of point system back as a reward, as a thank you. doTERRA loves that we are loyal to them and they are loyal to us, and they want to make it as easy and as affordable for us. So this is why they offer this program. They have different levels and when you can earn different things. You guys make sure you reach out to the person and that invited you here. Plus, as you are ordering, pay attention, because now doTERRA will tell you, hey, you're 34 points away from getting something for free. Do you want to? Or you're 10 points away from free shipping. Do you want to? And so remember, you can change everything about the order every single month, and you can cancel at any time. If you do cancel, you start back at 10%. So my advice is always, you know, if you're traveling or gone or something, at least have a lip balm in there and keep your points and your percentage. When we are ordering through lifelong or through loyalty rewards, you can purchase one of the top products here, which is our foundational product, which is Lifelong Vitality. It comes regular or vegan. You guys, this is the foundation to good health. It is doTERRA's #1 selling product, even though we are an essential oil company. And then we also have our award-winning collagen, MetaPower Advantage in the middle. When you purchase either of those, a drop-down menu comes and you can add additional products up to 3 for huge savings below wholesale. This is like, it's such a great way to purchase. And so, yeah, I hope you guys are taking advantage of that, because it is the only way that I purchase. Okay, you guys, I want to just give you a couple of updates here. If you want to get reminders, we send out a text 15 to 30 minutes before class starts. It also includes the Zoom room link. So whether you're joining on your phone or your computer, you just hit the link and it tells you what the class is. On Wednesday, we send out at the same number the class recordings for that week. So just text the word class reminders, that's all one word, to 534-429-5392. Now, I did mention at the beginning, you guys, that we had some of our winners of our free gift book, our recipe book. So let's see, we've got Laura Miller, Carrie Duncan, and then we have a 307 number. We don't have a clue who that person is because they didn't fill out the information, but those are a gift that we give when you attend or watch 8 of our classes live via Zoom. You get to text into that number, class and the topic, and you get put into the winning for a new free book. Next week, you guys, it's class number 7, which is spa products, create your own spa, Aroma Touch, and Symphony of Cells. Another really, really great class. Once again, I just want to thank everybody for coming. We're going to stop the screen share and see if we have any questions or anything that anybody would like to testimonials or questions. Let's see, Sarah, will you share a testimonial while I check the chat real quick on some kind of an emotional oil?
I'm going to talk about Melissa. So this is one of our biggest testimonials in our house is Jeremiah, and he's okay with me sharing it. So we did the, he says, the Melissa Blue Tansy Challenge. And if you guys aren't familiar with it, go look into Good Vibes. But the blue tansy goes on your big toe, and Melissa is supposed to go on the roof of your mouth, and you take 3 deep breaths. Well, we kind of pivoted because with kids, you kind of have to pivot with them. He doesn't like the taste. So Haley encouraged me to start putting it on his big toe. So we put it on the opposite big toe. And you guys, I cannot tell you how his mind and how his focus and how his mood, everything about him changed, right, Luke? Like he even said, Sarah, the other day, he goes, I think we've missed his Melissa a couple days in a row. So this is very valuable for kiddos too. And like she said, I hate to say this, but one of our best friends' stepdaughter killed herself. She just turned 16. And these are very, very big right now. And she talked about that age earlier in the class. And that I don't know what it is about that age that should be such a huge time where they're so joyful. But you guys, these are super easy tools that we can, if they don't like the taste, put it on that big toe. It's huge.
That's awesome, Sarah. And being able to see the difference, and I'm sure your son too noticed that he was reacting to things different. The reason that we use the big toe is because it is the reflex point for your brain or your head area. So it's the same as, putting it on the thumb, putting it in the roof of my mouth is because it's the quickest access to getting it to the brain and being able to have a response. And so big toe, same thing. Really good, Sarah. Thank you so much. Okay, Tammy, do you have something that you'd like to share?
I'm going to add on to the Melissa Blue Tansy Challenge. Again, if you were to look it up. But so in the beginning of the class, I had written that I was scattered because some things at work. Excuse me. And what was really kind of funny is a couple of days ago, I thought, dang, well, June 1st, it was coming up on June 1st. But for those of you that know me, beginning of school year, end of school year, vacations are a little bit stressful for me. But I had to get a new bottle of Blue Tansy and Melissa because I had not had any for probably 6 days. I gave my open bottles to somebody who was going through some stuff, and I didn't even think about it again. I wrote that I was taking Adaptive, 1 or 2 a day, and thinking about it, I'm still waiting. So I'm still waiting for my Blue Tansy and new Melissa bottles to come, which thankfully enough, I had enough points from LRP orders that I was able to get both of those for free. And now I'm expecting them next week. So I think you come to where you have certain products and oils that you don't go a day without using. And since we did that challenge, I have found myself using those 2 oils every single day until I no longer had them. And we've talked about emotionally before, and I think this goes along with all of our products, or maybe when you hang around, people that bring you up, and then all of a sudden you're down, you're around somebody who kind of brings you down. Same kind of thing. We have to be consistent, think about who and what we are, where we want to be, where we're going, and make those smart choices to stay on top of it. So that's it.
Good stuff. All right. So we did have a question, and just to protect the privacy of people, I'm not going to mention a name, but somebody said they had been feeling super frustrated with today. So what I'm going to do, you guys, is I've got my emotions book out, and I looked up the word frustrated. So the essential oils that are listed are geranium, cardamom, neroli, and Roman chamomile. Then the arrow down says, what is not going as planned? Am I trying to control someone or something? What will it take for me to release attachment to the outcome of this situation? So those are great, just curiosity questions on where is it coming from? And then now I now embrace the unexpected and choose to flow with life. So that would be the affirmation, is this is what I'm going to do to change it. And then to visualize, imagine your hands letting go of control. See yourself easily navigating around any obstacle you encounter. Visualize growing in curiosity and patience with the world around you. So I love this. And even so, one of the things that we offer is we have emotional release sessions where it walks you through a series of questions We've got quite a few people who are certified coaches in this area. And when it says, you know, visualize yourself holding on to the feeling, and I just see like these balloons of letting it release, like fill those balloons up with that feeling and then watching it float up into the air. Now, I did say geranium as the first one. So I want you to see how this works towards the frustration. Geranium restores confidence in the innate goodness of others in the world. It facilitates trust, especially when individuals have lost trust in others due to difficult life circumstances. It also assists in reestablishing a strong bond to one's mother or father. When there has been a loss of trust in a relationship, geranium encourages emotional honesty, love, and forgiveness. It fosters receptivity of the human love and connection. Geranium aids in healing the broken heart. It encourages emotional honesty and by facilitating the emergence of grief or pain that it has suppressed. Geranium softens anger and assists in healing emotional wounds. It assists in reopening the heart so that love may flow freely. Indeed, geranium could be called the emotional healer. And it goes on a little bit. So the emotions, if you're feeling abandoned, lost, distrust, unforgiving, unloved, disheartened, heavy-hearted, or if you're grieving, then the positive emotions are emotional healing, empathetic, trusting, forgiving, gentle, loving, tolerant, and open. So if we look at that whole thing, one of the best things to do again with the geranium is to put it in the hands and smell it. And then I would apply it over the heart and maybe, you know, say some of those statements. Let's see. I now embrace the unexpected and choose to flow with life. And the other thing that I'm going to add to this is when there was a pivot moment for me when I took the sentence and I changed, why is this happening to me, or why did this happen to me, into why did this happen for me? And really being able to look at it differently and going, hey, this is all working out for me, or this happened to me, you know, for a good reason. And I may not understand it then, but then I'm just going, okay, I'm going back to, okay, things do work out for me, even if it's down the road a little bit. So, Sarah?
I'm just going to speak on Levi's behalf really fast on balance. So Levi loves balance on his feet every single morning, has forever. That has been our routine. But he was having some balance issues during wrestling. This is kind of cool. I like to talk about this blend a lot because a lot of people don't realize what it can actually do for your balance. So we started putting balance on before every match, not just the wrestling tournament, but every single match. And you guys, his balance was completely different on the mat. And it's really cool. It's not just for kids. So just think about if you're losing balance, or if you know someone who keeps, you know, missing steps or stuff like that, really encourage balance on their feet because it's going to help them with that.
I balance is such an interesting oil. I remember when I was going to yoga all the time, there were some people who could not do tree, which is on one foot, and you know, being able to balance. And I was like, here, let's try this. And we put balance oil on the bottoms of their feet, and they were able to balance better just by having that essential oil on their foot. And they didn't know why, you know, and balance is a combination and has, you know, grounding oils in it. It is the grounding blend. And so if you think of my emotions, I want to ground them. I want to feel supported. You know, I mean, there's some really great things around all of that. Regina?
Hello. I jumped in and jumped out and jumped back in. I was at work, but the things that I'm catching is actually something that I do on a regular basis. So today was something a little bit different. However, the balance, I do use that during my massage. And at the beginning, I use an oil to open up the senses and kind of jar them a little bit. And then toward the end of the service, I do use balance um, as a grounding tool to help them get back in balance and to be able to walk in balance from that point on. And I do a wiping of the feet to help them to feel the release of whatever's been holding on to them. Because we walk, we walk in such a way that when we walk in other people's paths, their energy tends to stay where they walked in their steps, in their path. And with that, I'm able to recognize that within myself, even that sometimes I'm feeling depleted, sometimes I'm feeling sad, depressed, don't even know why, but it could be those energies that have latched onto me that were belonging to someone else. So in my service of the massage therapy, it helps to acknowledge those things and honor them, just like you're talking about, and you know, reward and give thanks and for that release, and then walk in balance after that, you know, with the oil. So that's a great assistant. The other thing is today I went in, I give my testimony on a regular basis in my program. So today I happened to pull out the geranium, and you're talking about that. And today it was a lot of spiritual talk in my testimony. It was a spiritual talk, and I just felt this sense of ease and comfort as I was speaking. And I did cup my hands with the geranium in it and take that in for a grounding, for a centering. And then the deliverance was just, I felt as though it's not my words, it's my experience, but I'm just a conduit to be able to share, you know, with others. And I believe that the geranium was a great assistant in that. Thank you for your class today.
Yeah, I love being able to mastermind and talk together, and you know, being able to share information. And you know, when I first started using essential oils, I didn't really care why they worked. I just cared how they made me feel. And then the longer I got into it, the more I was like, oh gosh, no. Like and I got more curious on, well, how do they work for your emotions? Why do they work for your emotions? How quick, why do they work so quick? And instead of, you know, you can't just go take a Glade plug-in of lavender and smell it and get the same benefits, right? It's completely different because we're now talking, it's chemically altered and chemically made. And there is just like a prescription. There's all kinds of weird side effects that are going to come from it, right? And so I love doTERRA, and I love being able to teach about it. And so thank you for taking the time to come with us and to learn with us. And you know what? We do these classes every Monday and Tuesday. Regina, I'm going to come back to you in just a second, but I'm going to stop the recording just so we can get a clean break. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay, you guys.